Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV and the second meeting of the season in the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is Andy Thompson. Sam Kumo operating the cameras. Road America is our host for tonight's action. And Andy, we got used to in season 1 the tight twisty circuits. The slipstream wasn't too prevalent apart from maybe the round we went to at Daytona. Heck, even Okayama was a fairly slipstreamy circuit considering the tracks that we visited. However, we started last week off at Watkins Glen, and we head to this Road America circuit where this MX-5 should really be able to stretch its legs as far as they can reach.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably a change to the lineup from last season. A lot of tight tracks, as you mentioned. The first two rounds of this season, Watkins Glen the first round and Road America in the second round. Big open tracks, lots of action going to be happening, and slipstreams again are going to come into factor today. So this track is 4.048 miles long. It's got 14 turns, some really fast corners in it, and in these little motors they're going to be close to top gear going around these corners. But I took it out for a little practice drive earlier on, nowhere near as quick as these guys are, about 4 seconds off the pace. But I found that, you know, you slide around the corners a lot in these cars, which is extremely fun, and I actually forgot how good these cars were to drive, to be fair.
Yeah, they are an absolute blast, and around this circuit, I'm pleased to hear that it is such a blast, because I can imagine it maybe gets a little bit dull going down the straights, honestly, but of course there's this middle sector really to keep you on your toes when you're out there with 18 other cars, as these drivers will be. Should be a lot of fun for them. You just saw the championship for a moment up on screen. It was Saeed Manek and Hyde who managed to really dominate the first round of the championship. They were first and second in all 3 races. Saeed Manek with 2 race wins and Hyde with the single race win. but still, they were really pushed all the way. They spent most of the race, most of the 3 races really outside the podium places, but they managed to pull off some good moves when it mattered and really used their race car to their advantage. So they were really the trendsetters. We've also got Pete Newman on grid for the first round of the championship, and he was actually the fastest driver during during practice, so watch out for him. As we see Hides trying to go to the top of the standings, and this is a good distance back, I would say, at the moment for him, Andy, because he's been able to pick up the draft going into Canada corner. He might pick up a bit of a draft to the line as well, and he shouldn't get held up too much.
Yeah, I mean, this lap's all going to be about slipstream, certainly for this qualifier to get. But what you don't want to be is obviously too close to the car in front, takes you offline. So he's got a good pace coming up the start-finish straight here. The problem here is now he's got a car on his right and a car in front that will be gaining on really quickly into corner 1. So what he doesn't want to do is make sure that he brakes within timing in corner 1 to make sure. So he's going to the inside, which is probably not the ideal line on this corner. You certainly want to be out wide and swing it into the first corner, coming down into 4th, possibly down to 3rd by the end, trying to accelerate out. These 2 corners here are vitally important to get a really good lap time, especially this corner coming up now. You need a good exit because it's a really long straight, and you want to maximize the speed going down this long straight. But what is good is he's got a slipstream again of the 2 cars in front pulling out, and you can see the power of the slipstream there. You know, easily got past Moons in front of him, and now obviously going down that straight at some speed. What he's got to be aware of coming down to this corner, really tight left-hander. He's got to hit it into the right-hand side of the track, use all the curb, and then swing it into the corner to get a good exit. Pretty much went a bit too wide and a bit too fast into that corner, so he's sort of compromised this lap a little bit. He'll have to go again on another one.
Yeah, and Hayes will tow back to the pits, get some fresh tyres on, but that's actually the end of his qualifying. Because you got to get your lap in before the 10 minutes is up, you think an out lap will take 2.5 minutes, a flying lap will take 2.5 minutes, and so you need probably about 5 minutes 20 from when you leave your pit stall. Imagine trundling down the pit lane costs you a bit of time. So if you have a problem in the second half of the session, that's it. So Hides isn't going to be improving. Pinocchio might have enough time. Where's the outs on circuits? Halfway around the lap. No, he's not going to have enough time. Yeah, no, he would have to be crossing the line within the next 20 seconds, so he's not going to have a chance. But it was a terrific first lap for Hides. He was 1.1 seconds faster than Pete Newman, so really benefiting from that slipstream. Must be an excellent lap for him elsewhere, though, of course, to be so far ahead. And Simonek, interestingly, championship leader only in 5th place. However, he is currently on a lap time. Some green sectors, apologies for Simonek. But nothing purple as he runs wide, and that is dreadful news. He's picked up a 1x, and that will be the end of his session because he also doesn't have enough time to set another lap. So Simonek looks so strong at Watkins Glen, but only starting 5th for race 1.
Yeah, definitely. But he is a fast starter, so I'll expect to see him challenging straight off the line when we start race 1. But like I said at the start, the Hides and Simonek have got about a 40 point gap over 3rd place in the championship. So the midfield battle is quite a tight between Philippe Lauda, Tom Valentini, Rafael Franco, Amanis Jomanis, and Thor Tull. So they're all quite close, tightly knit in that middle part of the section for the Pro-Am battle. But yeah, certainly Simonek and Hides are the 2 that had an excellent first round, and we'll see if they can continue it through to the Road America. It's very vital, I think, as well, to get off to a good start in this championship, because it gives you emphasis and gives you momentum going into the following round. So really good to get a good start and good points on the board for the first round.
Absolutely, and could need to rake in those points as much as possible, especially with such a competitive order. You cannot afford to put your foot off the thoughts at any point. We've got 1 more minute to go, and so all the drivers who are on the first half of their lap are probably going to run out of time. So even Yamantis, I think, is going to run out of time. Joseph Klist hasn't yet put in a time, and so this could be a bit of an improvement for him. the final corner. Driving for Apex Racing Academy, one of our sponsors for this broadcast. We will give them a little bit of a mention later on. But the 292 car approaching the line at the moment. This will at least put him in the top 17 because he hasn't set a time so far, but it's only good enough for 16th place, and that is nearly 6 seconds slower than the best time. And Clist is far better than that. Undoubtedly, will be much more competitive than that come the race. You can see the range of times around this very long circuit, but if Watkins Glen has anything to go by, I think we're probably going to have the top 12 or so all grouped together, because that was what it was like in round 1.
Yeah, definitely. It's Hides took that qualifying 1.1 seconds ahead of second place. So outstanding qualifying laps from Hides. So he seems to be the one with the pace going in. So as we can see, the grid coming up. So Hides is your pole sitter for the first race. Pete Newman second. Tom Vellini is in third. Ivan Pinocchio fourth. Pavel Similek, who's a championship leader at the moment, in fifth. Rafael Franco sixth. Aras Jamanis in 7th, Christian Smits in 8th, 9th is Ronald Mood, and 10th is your first of your AMs, Darren Doherty. So he's one of our Irish contenders that had an excellent round in Watkins Glen. So let's see what they can do in this first race. And as we can see there, the rest of the field lining up behind, and we're getting ready for race 1, Sam. So exciting times.
Absolutely. It was a terrific round for the Irish last time out, wasn't it? And we managed to accrue a lot of points. I think it was McMullen who was top of the amateur drivers after round 1. So being out-qualified there by Doherty by quite a bit. And those drivers, or Doherty at least, getting ahead of Philippe Sen, who looked very good in round 1. Chula as well is not an easy customer, so some good competitiveness from the amateurs to get amongst those drivers. Got about 30 seconds more, because we did mention Apex Racing Academy earlier on. Big thanks to them for sponsoring this series. Got setups, track tutorials, driver coaching for rallycross and road cars. Over 30 different vehicles they cover. Apex Racing Academy. Do check them out if you want to improve your on-track performance in iRacing. So Tom McQuell isn't going to take the starts, I believe. I think he may probably not going to be taking part tonight, honestly. But the 18 other cars are all onto the grid, and so we are about to launch this race 1 of the evening. It's Caleb Hides looking for the championship lead here in race 4 of the season, meeting 2 here at Road America. The lights go out. We are away for 15 minutes of action. It's an excellent start for Hides. It's an excellent start for both of the drivers on the front row of the grid. But it's a terrible start for Valentini, who's dropping down the order. He started up in 3rd place, but he's already down into 7th as the drivers tumble into turn 1 for the first time. Mantis managing to get past Franco as well. Excellent start for Arias, who's up 2 places from his starting position. Full start as well for Thor Churlo further down. He's also lost 4 places, a bit like Valentini, who is now making a little bit of contact with Franco into turn 2. Around him was his Luxembourg compatriot Schmitz, who's just dropped down into 9th position, as once again the drivers get into a long train for the tow into turn 3. Into the braking area. That's a very bold move for 2nd position. That was Pinocchio going for a daring glance at least, but he got the car stopped at least, and Newman remaining in 2nd place. Schmitz just holding off Moons as well for 8th.
Yeah, we saw Pinocchio do quite a lot of that in the first round when we were in Watkins Glen. He's a really, really good driver, really aggressive on some of the corners. So I'll expect to see him bouncing up, or certainly being at the front start of the field. But a great start for Hides. He took that line. But what's really important is getting really good emphasis off the line on these cars. You want to be at the maximum amount of revs so you don't wheel spin. Because I think that's probably what's happened to Valentini, is he had too much revs going on there and basically wheel spun it off the line, and the rest of the drivers going up. But we've got Samantak up 1 place, Pinocchio's up 1, and Jamantis is up 2 at the moment. So really good as they go around, going down towards the Canada corner. Oh, a car wide at the back. That is Joseph. The good thing with these cars is you can actually get off track but save them quite well. It's not like your GT3s where as soon as you hit that grass you spin around 360, 720. These cars you can actually catch them quite well and keep a corner, but not really good go.
Yeah, that was pretty spectacular, and we'll let you go off at the kink and don't really pay for it with permanent damage, but Paul Joseph Cliss getting away with it on that occasion. A little bit wide as well, I think, for maybe Parmalee just in the background. Got the top 10, all the pro drivers, and then, well, to be fair, Chile a little bit further down, and Macwell did take the start, but I think a pit lane start he was serving, as Newman takes the lead of the race, and expect to see plenty of changes over the 45 minutes of racing we have in store tonight, because it's near on impossible to defend down into turn 1 when the driver behind is within a couple of tenths of a second coming out of the final corner. In fact, Hayes might be able to turn the favour straight away. However, that's been a bit of a breakaway. The top 6, quite a bit ahead of Valentini, who's really struggled in the early stages here, and actually top 2 now bump drafting. Pinocchio, though, very much backing up your point from 1 lap ago, Andy. He doesn't waste, he doesn't mess around. He goes for the position when he can, and he moves from 3rd to 1st, heading into turn 3.
Yeah, it certainly paid off for him there. He took the more aggressive line of the inside line. Obviously, the guy on the outside saw that he was going up his inside and gave him the space, which is really good to see. He could have cut him up, and it could have been a nasty accident there. But you know, coming around to coming around to the carousel now. Really nice corner, so you got to hold that speed going around there to try and maximise your speed coming out to get around that kink and get the speed. It's all about the exit speed round on the corners coming onto the long straight. So, but Simonek is still in 4th place, although his terrible start, he's actually up with the leaders. So certainly don't write him out from his performances in race 1 for sure.
And because you get no points as well for qualifying, it all comes down to the races. So, yeah, I was maybe overreacting earlier on when I was talking about Simonek being far down, because, yeah, he could certainly have a good points haul tonight. The driver who won 2 of the first 3 races of the season. And of course, this is his first ever Apex Racing League series. I believe his first series on Apex Racing TV as well. But he's getting a bit crowded out here because he's been overtaken by Yamantis. Apologies, no, this was just behind. So this was Simonek moving up to 4th position. And then, yeah, Yamantis and Franco really battling very hard with one another. Valentini right with those drivers. Also, Smiths and Moons, all parts of that lead battle. Apologies, no, Smiths and Moons aren't, but certainly Valentini is. As we see, the leader of the amateur category, that's Damien McMullen now to the top, so he's overtaken Darren Doherty. That was on that last lap as well, so good move there. And McMullen, who is currently the amateur championship leader, moving ahead, but Doherty doesn't want that to last too long. He kind of goes up the inside, but it's not a very committed move, and don't want to do that too often because that will lose them time. Very close for the lead once again, as we see Proctor with Churlo on the comeback. Macwell, of course, started on the pit lane, hence why he's so far down at the moment. Churlo should be able to make that one. Not really any changes heading into turn 1 actually on this lap. I think Hydes maybe got past Pinocchio if he wasn't already ahead. But very few changes apart from that, as we probably see some bump drafting now. These cars really do lend themselves to that type of tactic. Don't have to be too concerned like you would be in a prototype or a single-seater, as Proctor spins it around, picked up too much grass on the inside and lost grip, and he drops to last place.
Yeah, I think that was too much acceleration going into that corner, trying to get out of it too quickly. And these cars bite quite hard if you try and push them too much. You can push them a lot, but if you go that little bit too far, you can see what happened there. We had a spinner. So Tully is obviously trying to make his way back up. He seems to have a terrible start to this Tulu on this race. He's down in 13th place at the moment. and basically, but he's trying to fight his way back. Doherty and Mullen, so you got the two Irish guys that are at the front of the AM class at the moment, and Tom Valentini trying to make up for all the places that he sort of lost at the start. Seemed to got his foot back on the gas now and is trying to catch up with the leaders. So I expect to see him back in the into the battle.
Yeah, I think so. By the way, quick shouts out to our viewers on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you very much for tuning in. Also, Marcello Trincas, very much supporting Ivan Pinocchio. Thanks for watching on Twitch. Of course, same one who's watching on YouTube. We do broadcast all our races on Apex Racing TV on Twitch. So if that's where you prefer to watch your streams, head over there, follow the channel, and you can see all of our racing. There's a couple of benefits to it, but we always try to keep engaged with you guys, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. Do let us know who you are supporting. We love to see the fan clubs out in action. As Hyde's moving ahead, the Aussies raw in delight, and also Simonek making his move now on Pinocchio. Be it that was not going to work for him, I think. Very much evenly matched through two, but it will be Simonek just ahead. Do drop slightly away from the top two, but should be able to catch back up. And actually, we have a threat for Pinocchio here to drop down a few more places because he's out of the draft, and he could get freight trained here because Diamantis now at least pulls his nose ahead. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Pinocchio moves back up into third place on the brakes because he is so aggressive as he makes contact now, and that's a couple of cars in the middle of the circuit. Has to stop as well was Franco, who did a very good avoiding job, but Pete Newman will be disappointed with that one. That was, yeah, I kind of called it. He was going to be late on the brakes there, Pinocchio, but he really misjudged where the second place man is.
Yeah, he broke really late, went wide out of the apex of the corner, and unfortunately picked up Newman on the exit, which spun them both. Disappointing for Newman because he was obviously fighting Hydes. Hydes now has actually managed to get away because of that incident, so he's a little bit up the road. 3.4 seconds he managed out of that incident, so he's got a bit of a lead now, and he just needs cap. He's out of this slipstream, so he just needs to make sure he keeps his lines and get there. So we've got Schmitz trying to take Samat on the outside of going around Kink, which is a very brave thing to do indeed. Obviously these cars are going flat out around the Kink. Good slipstream down into Canada corner, so it's another quite tight corner going into. It's not advisable to go too wide in here, but these are Mazdas and they do what they want, I think. Oh, a little bit of air there as well.
Yeah, that was Valentini somehow into second place. He must have had an absolutely awesome view of all of that because he's gained about 5 places and all that. Also Moon's a big gainer, but he can't do anything there against Simonek, and Schmitz also progresses past, and there goes Sen as well. So Moon's always a very reliable driver. Managed to finish third place overall last season with a solid 2 race win, I believe, at Daytona Race 2. But yeah, of course the driver is Moon's, and he'll be picking up the pieces. What if we could see a replay of that incident from Valentini's perspective? Because he was the highest gainer, I think, in all of that. I think he was down in about 6th place. Was able to move into second. Also, Diamantis, of course, benefited largely from it as well. Simonek, one of the big losers, despite the fact that the actual contact happened ahead of him. As we are going to get a replay now of yeah, what it was like for Valentini. Just managed to pick a way through.
Yeah, I think he got a fortune move. He took on the inside, so he threaded that through like a needle. But great exit out of the thing, and obviously got up to second. So he had the run on the cars. He kept the speed going through that incident, and where the rest of the drivers had to brake, he managed to thread it through the eye of a needle.
Yeah, the seas were parted. I'm sure we can use all the commentary cliches for when a driver drives through a wreck. Days of Thunder style, we could go on all day. But no, basically it was fortunate, and Yeah, I got to say on that occasion, that was 80% fortune, 20% skill, honestly. He really just had to take the race, and I credit to him, though, he allowed space for the drivers who were off the circuit to rejoin the circuit, which is actually a very good tactic because you're less likely to crash, believe it or not. So, nice thinking from him. Juventus, they has moved past, and so too has Simonek. Valentini was going to struggle to hold them back for the whole race. However, he could definitely still overtake them in the time remaining. In fact, he could probably overtake them, but then probably be re-overtaken after that. So he's got to pick and choose when he does go for the move. As we see Simonek giving Juventus a bit of a bump job there, then decides to pull out. Moves ahead through to Canada corner. But that's very temporary. Hyde's just pulling away from these guys, by the way. Now the gap up to 4 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's playing into Hyde's hands. He's a lot of battling for second place. Obviously, a lot of defensive moves, losing the time, and Hyde's is just able to get away. And oh, a nice big spin at the back there for, I think that's Sen, or was that Moons? At the back? No, it's Sen, wasn't it? So nice little spin out of the last corner, turn 14. Lost a bit of time there coming up, and we got Germantas coming on the outside of Simonek. So going into the first corner, Simonek a bit on the inside there. He's not taking up any of the draft. As you said before, Sam, you know, he's in a bit of no man's land, and he could get caught by cars behind that are going to have the draft from the cars in front. So I'm not sure why he's not tucking back in, to be honest. There we go.
Yeah, now he maybe just thinking that he wants to be behind in this part and then maybe overtake later. I don't know how Juventus didn't crash though. So he dips the wheel onto the grass on entry and was all over the place. Somehow kept it straight and actually had a superb speed. I wonder if the other drivers just expected him to crash and decided to back out of it. Simonek just giving the bump jobs there, so he maybe just wants to consolidate this third position. They're getting a bit tasty behind as well, with Sen thinking of overtaking Moons. There's Pinocchio. Oh, Moons has gone for the circuit actually, but he's alright. Okay, good speed on the grass. Yeah, there's Pinocchio battling with Newman again, oh dear. And also Franco as well, who was, I think, pretty much had to come to a stop when those drivers collided just ahead. Did very well to avoid picking up too much damage. As there is Juventus still holding on, but Simonek just, I think, lining this one up for Canada corner.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a nice on his bumper, nice slipstream. If he gets a good corner out of the kink, he should get him down towards the Canada corner. As long as he can get that inside line and push Germantas out for the Canada corner, Germantas will have to yield the position going into that turn. So we'll see what happens when they come down the straights. But Valentini's actually holding on to the tailgates of Simonek, so certainly don't rule him out, because he could get a double draft off these guys coming in. As we can see, he is right up on him now. So there's a move down the inside. Germantas still keeps the inside line. Simonek's on the outside, going round into the Bill Mitchell bend.
Yeah, and he's positioned his car superbly right there, has Simonek, and should be good enough here because the two other drivers are battling, can get the run to the line. As the checker flag is out for race 1 of the evening, it's going to be Caleb Hydes with his second race win of the season. Will it be the championship lead? Depends if Simonek can get second place. He does get second place. He's going to get third. Valentini just beating Schmitz by a 10.5, and Juventus really dropped down. Doherty as well, dropping down right at the close, but he did beat McMullen by 2/10. I think Doherty may have run out of fuel there as he approached the line. Was a slow final lap and seemed to be struggling. I think both Franco and Maquel got past him. Maybe not Franco, but Maquel, I think, just got past him right at the end. Good job for Maquel actually from the pit lane to 10th place, and also Newman had a problem on that last lap, so it was all going on. What happened? The Pure Sims Esports driver, he started the race so well, had contact with another driver, but yeah, bad news for him, as we will already go across to race 2 because there's no pause. There will be a pause between race 2 and race 3, but the the top 10 will be reversed then from the race 1 results. So McQuell getting past Doherty right at the line was absolutely crucial because it's McQuell on pole and Franco in 2nd place.
Yeah, where did that first race go? I can't believe that was 15 minutes. There was so much action wheel to wheel. But I think Simonek played that to a T. He let Germantus through, and as we saw there, Germantus ended up in about 6th place because he was at the front of that queue, and obviously lost out on the slipstream where all the other cars got him. So yeah, certainly not good to be in that leading car going into that last corner if you're in a train running for the line.
Yeah, exactly. I want to avoid that. That's if you can, because yeah, particularly in these MX Pies, you've got plenty of time to slipstream past. So McQuell on pole, he managed to gain 10 places in race 1. Can he hold 1st place in race 2? Probably not, because it's a dreadful start for him, but it was a dreadful start for Franco as well. It looked like, actually, it wasn't too bad. It was certainly jolty, but compared to the other cars, they are absolutely fine. Franco, though, was the slightly better, and he will be able to pull ahead into turn 1. Doubt McQuell will be able to fend off that one at all. Pinocchio in 3rd position, no changes apart from the top 2 in the top 6, but Newman and Palmley both gaining 4 places each. Valentini with a dreadful start. Yeah, absolutely apocalyptic for Valentini there. He's right to the back of the order as Germantus having to track extend a little bit. His poor end to race 1 at least promoted him a few places on the grid for race 2. And he's trying to make that pay at the moment. There is Hydes. Hydes with damage, it seems. So just as he gets side by side, as we've got tyres flying down the pit straight, and it's Samson, Doherty and McMullen. Doherty and McMullen top 2 in the Amateur Championship, but they have had a strange incident. There's the Hydes one with a puncture, I believe, but the top 2 in the Amateur category having their own problems.
Yeah, Valentini had an absolute terrible start. I think he caused the issue with Hydes behind him, if you look being Hydes. He seems to go off, yeah, he literally didn't get off the line, so Hydes hit at the back of him, damaged his front left suspension, given the puncture, which obviously made him return the pitch. So a bit of carnage at the start of that race for Valentini, not obviously getting away, which caused issues behind. So we've got a bit of a pile up in the pits. We got Hydes, Doherty, McMullen, who were the top 2 in the AMs in a bit of an incident going down the straight after turn 3, and we got Sansam out as well. So yeah, all happened down that first couple of corners there, Sam.
Yeah, could we get maybe a replay of what happened to Doherty and McMullen, because they crashed down the straight. Well, they must have crashed down the straight. It's a very long straight and they're in the middle of it, so they managed to crash to the corner. Here it was then, so you can just see them there. Leave space, no, didn't leave space. So that was the 281 there of Doherty, who at a first glance there maybe was the most guilty, but of course it's not just a straight, it's a curve. And you've got to turn eventually for the curve, and all you can do is try to keep the same distance away from the edge of the circuit, but when you're in the middle of a 3-car battle, it's very tricky to judge. So shame there, and well, just lucky that no one else was involved.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously at the front, which has been quite quiet, we've got Franco, Pinocchio and McQuell. So Pinocchio again trying down the inside into turn 1. It will slightly compromise his speed out the corner unless he can get in front of him. Nope, he got a good slipstream going up into turn 1. So he's got the turn for first corner. So we got Sen trying to take it down the inside. Symantec of Sen. Great move there, great respect as well, giving him enough room, because it's quite easy to get these cars and push them out wide. But Sen's obviously now compromised himself to Smits going down the corner, and it's not advisable to lose speed going down there. But it's a drag race now down to turn number 5.
Yeah, and it's pretty much in the power of Simonek, who comes out on top on that one, or Senso, because give the draft to whoever wanted. Pinocchio into the lead then, the Italian driver. There is the that's once again with Sen bouncing with Schmitz. Schmitz managing to get clear. Now Moons wants to move alongside Sen as well, who is a quick driver, but maybe one the slower pro drivers, it seems, tonight. Newman also getting past Moon, so just as Moon's kind of slowed up a little bit, Newman was able to pounce on it. A little bit of a underwhelming start there for Newman. Started in 13th, up 7 places. Yeah, to be phased up pretty good, hasn't he? He's only a couple of seconds behind Simonek at the moment. As we cut to the leaders, and it's Pinocchio still just ahead of Franco. Maxwell very much with the pace to keep with these guys. I think the big question is now, can Simonek catch by the end of the race? He's got 2.5 seconds to gain.
If these guys start fighting it out, but 2.5 seconds is quite a lot in this track with these cars, so as long as they work together. But when we've got Pinocchio in the mix, I don't think they'll be sort of working together, because he does like to try and push the pace out front, and if he's not in front, he does like to try and take the inside line. So yeah, a lot of racing to go. Another 10 minutes left, so probably about another 4 laps. Yep. Another 4 laps of this track to go, and we're coming up to the end of this second lap with Pinocchio leading, Franco and Manquel in 3rd place. So they've pulled 2.9 seconds over Simonek, so he's got it all to do to try and catch up with these top 3.
Yeah, he really does. Their pace is good. Fast up of the race there for Pinocchio, 33.9, and yeah, quite a bit faster than Simonek there. So Newman absolutely blasting along. Did have quite a bit of draft there, didn't Newman, but at the same time, because he did have to move through the traffic, as Simonek runs wide just there, and that's really not going to help his pursuit. And he'll have to be looking way at Newman before he has to look at the leaders, honestly, because Newman has nearly escalated through this train. Trail's a little bit spread out due to the instance we had earlier on, but they still got the drivers fairly close to one another. With Franco, can he get past on this lap? Just waiting behind, smart driving there from Franco.
Yeah, definitely. It's the wide line going in out. It's the fastest line going into that corner, coming out of that corner. As we saw the previous lap with Sen, he actually took it quite tight, and you saw coming up the hill into the next corner how slow he was compared to the other drivers. So that outside line is vital on that. So we've got Franco now coming around into Carousel, I believe it. Yep, coming around the corner, going into Carousel, so keeping on the tails of Pinocchio. But Pinocchio seems quite quick this round. I think he's got the measure of this track, and as long as he can have the free space in front of him, then he should hopefully go on and win the race. But we'll have to see what happens.
Big thanks to another one of our sponsors, by the way, SDK Gaming, who provide our overlay and our live timing as well. The live timing absolutely essential for us commentators. We do a pretty bad job anyway, but imagine if we didn't have the SDK Gaming live timing. I mean, would it be even worse if you could imagine such a thing? So massive thanks to them for making our lives a lot easier, and of course making your lives a lot easier as well viewing the broadcast. You can see so much information on the screen. The Time Tower really gives you what you need, and of course you've got the flags as well, which I think looks absolutely awesome. It's laid out so impressively as well. This is just pretty much the default one. I mean, when you download the software and you get the overlay, it will look very similar to this. And of course you've got the track map, you've got battle boxes, you've got time deltas, you've got so many kind of graphical options, and of course you've also got, you know, like a fuel calculator and all the stuff you need for when you're driving as well. So it's a fantastic heads-up display. So if you go over to sdkgaming.co.uk, then you can get yourself a 14-day free trial of SDK Gaming, and I am sure that you'll want to renew after that. There is a link in the description below where you can get signed up. Parmalee, of course, leading the amateur category. Haven't really talked about Parmalee too much so far, but he's doing a very good job. Of course, with McMullen and Doherty out of the running, has really opened the gates for Parmalee, but he's a quality driver. Is the American raced last season as well, and fantastic, one of the championship favourites. So doing well at the moment is Parmalee. As Sen looks like he's going to get past Schmitz here. Of course, Newman already making that move on the previous lap, but it's just overcooked that one a bit, and he'll have to wait until probably Canada corner to make another attempt.
Yeah, so Parmalee obviously in 10th place, so he's right on the bubble of the reverse pole for race number 3. So he's in an ideal place, top of the AMs, and currently on the reverse pole position. So I think he deserved it, because obviously the last round that he had in Watkin Glen was probably one to forget on his part. But you know, always the driver came into the commentating and basically was gracious to say it wasn't his day, but it certainly looks like it's his day at the moment. So yeah, hopefully he can stick where he's at, and maybe he can get that reverse grid pole for race 3. So currently watching Smits in 6th place with Sen and Moons behind him. Got a good run there out of the kink. Hit the grass slightly on the outside, but hasn't really compromised his position. So all in pretty much a train going down into Canada Corner there, Sam. So, are we going to have a late lunch? Or I thought Moons was going to have a look down the inside then, going into Canada Corner, but I think he thought better of it and just snuck in behind. But he's all over the back of Sen at the moment, so I think it's only a matter of time before he gets past him.
Simonek has really closed in on the leaders. The gap, I think, is down to less than a second to McQuell, although, albeit McQuell has actually dropped off the leaders himself. So, but Simonek still now 2 seconds off the lead. I think that gap was about 3 seconds a couple of laps ago. In fact, you can see, there you can, yeah, you can see the times on the timing tower, 1 second faster-ish. It's closer to 7/10 faster for Simonek there than Pinocchio. If he keeps up that, he'll be with them. But the laps run out quick around this circuit. Certainly race 1, very much under the radar. I thought that we may have had an extra lap, but we didn't quite have enough time to force another one. This will be the penultimate lap of the race, actually, so we've only got 1 more to go after this one, and so yeah, Simonek's not got a whole lot of time. Pinocchio still being given the bump draft there from Franco. Franco's done a fantastic job, all that he can do to kind of run away from Simonek, but he's just too quick. As wide goes Franco, he's misjudged that one, and that will be very easy for Simonek, and he's quickly gone from a distant 4th to 2nd place. Still needs to consolidate on this one, because Franco's not giving it up easy, but kind of really only see 1 winner out of these 2. It's gradually corner by corner heading more the way of the Polish driver, and he does eventually move into 2nd place. Franco down to 3rd and McQuell into 4th. Simonek now with 1.6 seconds to catch up to Pinocchio.
Yeah, great move there from Simonek coming out of the long straight, getting that corner perfect, hitting the apex, getting the really good run out of the line. Obviously, Franco did go wide on that corner, so it compromised his line bit, but don't take anything away from Simonek. He took that corner like a boss, I think, and went from 4th to 2nd place, and now is stretching away from Franco, and he's got Pinocchio very much in his sights now. It's whether he's got the time to do it. We've got 1 more lap to go after this. Let's see if he can get it done.
If you've enjoyed watching this series so far tonight, why not sign up? You can find sign-up details, more information about the series, as Pinocchio just runs a bit wide, on apexracingleague.com. We've also got way more series as well. We've got the GT Trophy, which is in GT3 cars as wide goes Pinocchio, and that's really harmed his chances at the race win, because that is going to compromise his run down the straight. But yeah, we've also got Porsche Cups on Wednesday. We've got TC starting fairly soon on a Thursday. We've got Pits Types on a Friday, F3s on a Saturday, and GTs on the Sunday. So do check out all of those championships on apexracingleague.com. You can get signed up to any of them at the moment. As well, yeah, this race has been made quite a bit easier for Simonek than it looked like it would be 1 lap ago. Franco running wide was very much a gift for him. And Pinocchio running wide at the final corner, and me just having a rubbish second half of the lap has also invited him. As Newman, meanwhile, moves up to 3rd place. Wow, Newman's an absolute man on the mission. Also Schmitz as well, coming with Newman with terrific pace. Newman could still win this race, honestly, if these 2 start fighting, because it's Simonek versus Pinocchio, last lap of race 2. Simonek giving the bump draft all the way down the straight. And he does keep that place. Oh, in the background, look at Newman. Are they going to hit the leaders? They just about avoid, but that was Newman making contact there with Franco, who hits the wall, and Franco out of the race. Still, it turned very much into a duel between these two.
It's the last lap shenanigans there, and unfortunately again Newman got taken out in the same corner in race 1, but he managed to keep it, so he's still there in 5th place. But this race for 1st place now, yeah, hotted up. I think Pinocchio's feeling a little bit of the pressure with Simonek breathing down his neck. He's getting his line slightly wrong, just needs to compose himself and get out, but he's pulled a little bit of a gap out. It's 1.16, so Simonek must have had come out of the line. Has he got an issue? Looks like he's going slow.
I think he got a slowdown or something, which is odd round the middle part of the track. But I wonder if he took too much curb on the corner before the carousel. These MX-5s, you know, with decent ride height, they can really attack the curbs and the grass more than other cars. Usually you wouldn't dream of doing that, but it's really let Pinocchio off the leash. It's been an error-strewn end to this race, honestly. But looks as though the Italian's going to have enough. Just needs to nail these last couple of corners. He messed up this one on the last lap, did Pinocchio. Pretty sure it's nearly flat out for these gyres. Oh, that's slow again for Pinocchio. Although, no, he's alright. He was just taking a slightly tighter line. It's absolutely fine for him. Around the final corner, he comes, doesn't run wide like he did on the last lap. Simonek very much closer to the edge of the circuit. But the Italian, Ivan Pinocchio, is going to take his first race win in Apex Racing League history. There is the checker flag for him. Well earned. He's been very competitive for the first 5 races of the season, and he does finally clinch it this time. Photo finish here between Moons and Sen. Now 7/100ths of a second in favour of Moons. That was for 6th place. Dreadful final lap for the pair of them. So too Parmalee, to be fair. They were 4 seconds slower than the leaders, who also had their own problems. So not quite sure what happened between those drivers, but problems. Like I said, a very error-strewn finish to the race. Top of the amateur drivers was Dan Parmalee, with by far his best result of the season. Apologies that we didn't show too much of him, but there was plenty of other stuff going out on circuit. And Parmalee, 8th place overall, will be 3rd on the reverse grid, and we've still got this battle going on for 17th between Doherty and McMullen, who are fighting for the race win in the amateur category. They've had to tow back to the pits, they've had to take a faster pair, and they're still battling as if it's for the lead again.
I think it's Irish pride here, battle for the Irish pride. I think at the end of the race here, far down. So those two are always quite close to each other. I think they're attached by a string or something. They seem to be behind each other all the time. But now, great result for Parmalee, and he's in a really strong position now for race 3. He's going to start 3rd on the grid, and the nearest rival to him is going to be in 12th. So he's in a really strong position to make some really big points up on the championship in the next round. So, you know, all credit to Parmalee. Great 2nd race. And he's got it all to play for race 3. But I think Pinocchio made it a bit hard for himself there. You know, he that last lap gasp out of the last couple of corners, he let Simonek get back on his tail, but obviously kept his cool and managed to get the race win of race 2.
Yeah, no, he is at the top of the timing tower for, or the results screen, apologies, for Furious Racing Team. Simonek with 2nd place retakes the lead in the championship if he had lost it before. I think they're like tied on everything before that, to be honest, with Simonek and Hayes, but he's certainly in the lead now as Simonek. McQuell with a very good 3rd place. Schmitz was very strong as well in 4th, actually getting ahead of Newman. Of course, yeah, they made the contact down to turn 3, of course, didn't they? So Newman actually did very well, 3 seconds off the lead, despite that incident at the end. There was Moon, Sen, Parmalee top of the amateurs, great work from him, probably top of the amateur championship, honestly, now. Maybe he had a pretty bad Watkins, didn't he? Yamantis and Valentini round out the top 10. Then it was Franco, Proctor, Turley, Walsh, Clist, Hyde, Doherty, McMullen, and Samson. Rounding out the 19 car, Samson won't score points there. We're going to show you a little bit of a trailer now for one of our sponsors for this broadcast and for the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup Championship. We'll be back with you in just a couple of moments' time, so see you then on Apex Racing TV. Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup Championship. Round 2 from Road America. Once again, my name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Once again, alongside me is Andy Thompson, Sam Kume, doing an awesome job as always on the broadcast. And we are just a minute away from race 3 of the evening. It's been action-packed as always, Andy. In the first couple of races, we've got another 10 minutes, another 10 reverse grid, and honestly, I think there's probably about 10 or 11 drivers who could win this race 3 of the evening.
Yeah, the first 2 races, hot action all the way up to the line. I don't think anyone really, apart from Hides in the first race, sorry. Got a little bit away, but you know, nose to tail racing for 6 laps of Road America. It's been amazing, some really good moves, and I'm looking forward to race 3 and seeing what the grid can do. It's good to see an Am up the front end of the sharp end of the grid, with Dan Parmalee starting in 3rd place. So yeah, let's see what he can do from the front and see if he can keep his nose out and fight with the pros.
It would be a mighty effort from a Joe who had by far his best result of the season in race 2. Very much earned that 3rd place on the grid for this race 3. The scenic cam I'm watching at least can just see a faint little man waving a flag, and you probably didn't see the same scenic cam. But anyway, the practice is over, all the warm-up is over. We're now 6 o'clock in the evening in sim time, so it's got a nice glow as the circuit now, as the sun starts to set here in Wisconsin. Sun setting on the meeting. Jeez, that was bad commentary. Moon starts on pole, then it is Newman, probably the favourite for this race. There's Schmitz, Raquel, Simonek, Pinocchio, Sen, Parmalee, Diamantis, and Valentini. Franco and Proctor rounding out the top 12. There it is, Churley, Walsh, Clist, Ides, Doherty, McMullen, and Samson. So actually it wasn't a reverse grid of 10. It's actually a reverse grid of 6, so I saw that's wrong. So yeah, Moon's at the front, Parmalee just about missing out on that one as the lights are coming on. Cameron Moons gets his 2nd win in this championship. It's not the start he wanted, because straight away the British driver Pete Newman takes the lead from 2nd on the grid, as we saw similarly in race 2 as well. Poor start for Schmitz, down 3 places, going to have a lot of work to do, just as he did in the previous event, but he's trying to come back straight away against race 2 winner Pinocchio into turn 1. But it's Newman who leads the way. Moons, McQuell stays in 3rd. Here comes Schmitz and Pinocchio once again. Pinocchio is going to run a little bit wide, but manages to keep all 4 wheels on the tarmac or on the curb, so gets good traction. Wasn't good enough traction though to stay ahead of Schmitz, but this one could get a little bit personal between these two, who are really leaving absolutely no space for one another at the moment. It's super close all the way up to 4th place, with Simonek perhaps a little bit under pressure here into the next corner, trying to leave room for one another where they can. Actually, it's Simonek who drops back a place, back into 5th position after gaining into 4th in the first couple of corners. Still plenty of time to go. 5.5 laps of this race remaining, but at least unlike race 2, Mr. Drivers have got away without kind of big damage.
Yeah, very little incidents there in race 3. I think they all gave them the room, and obviously learned the lessons from race 2, where we had 4 people crash out in the first 3 corners. But great start from Newman and Moons. They're slightly getting a bit of a gap now between 3rd place, but I'm pretty sure that'll close up at 4th place. Simonek in 5th, so right on the tail of Schmitz, and then you've got Pinocchio behind Simonek. So yeah, we'll see what he is, and it's coming down the Canada corner, which Pinocchio seems to relish the inside lines coming down into these tight corners.
Yeah, there's a gap. You can be sure that he's going to go for it. To go defensive there is Schmitz. Really good comeback actually from him after that poor start. Still down 1 place from his start, but did really well to recover as well as he did. Representing Luxembourg very well with 3 competitive drivers out here. I was so convinced that, I was so surprised that the nation of only 700,000 people were doing so well. I thought it was Netherlands in the first round, that flag, but no, it is Luxembourg having an absolutely awesome run. McQuell probably helping out his compatriot right now because he's giving him a draft. Simonek's got to go for this one because if he doesn't go for it, Pinocchio will do. And he might just get boxed in. Oh, I'm surprised actually. Pinocchio has not gone for that move. You can see it side by side just in the background. Valentini getting past Sen. I think also Samson just getting past Klist. So it's Parmley still in the lead of the amateur category, but a bit of a poor start actually for Parmley. Admittedly, he's only lost places to pro drivers, but he's down 3 places from his starts.
Yeah, so a poor start from Parmley from 8th to 11th. Still one pro between him and the next AM of Toulouse. And Klist is the second place AM driver, so nice round for him for the 3rd round, considering he missed the 1st round with technical issues. So we got the Irish again, joined together with umbilical cords, I think you could say. So constantly running around together on the tracks. Obviously do a lot of practice together going around. Oh, slight bit of counter. Oh, and he hit him there, his teammate. Spun him round. Oh, that was Klist actually hit. So unfortunately, Klist takes a spin, whereas Doherty got away with not spinning that car. So Klist will lose quite a few places and be down at the back of the thing. Hides again seems to have had an issue coming out of the pit exit. So I'm not sure what happened there, but our race 1 winner has had a terrible race 2 and race 3. I don't know if we can get a replay of what happened to him.
Well, I don't think he took. Oh, he did take the start. Here we go.
Is it the same again? Is it the same again? Somebody in front of him? Surely not.
Oh, no! Oh, no. That was Walsh that time.
Oh, I think if you can have bad luck, that is terrible luck. Twice in a row that's happened to him. Taking him out on the same corner, same race as race 2, and he had to go back to the pits with a damaged car. Unlucky for him. Good first race, terrible 2nd and 3rd race. But at the front, we got Schmitz just trying to get past Simonek, but I think Simonek's got the better line going into the last corner up to the start-finish straight. But Simonek, if he's good, he'll just tuck him behind him, get his slipstream, and hopefully try and take him by the first corner. Or might repay the favour and give him a little bump draft, as Simonek did the previous lap. Ronamoon's trying to take 2nd place from Markwell, so a big battle here. Well, that's a bit of a slow car. And Newman's going a bit slow at the front, is it?
I think it's just the power of the draft, honestly.
Wow.
Just dragging them closer and closer. It's yeah, holding off McQuall there, and Simonek holding off Pinocchio. So Pinocchio managed to get past Schmitz there. So I think the Luxembourgian was held up slightly, kind of boxed in, and now it's going to be done by Yamantis as well. You can't really do a whole lot when these just quickly rush past you. You can feel absolutely amazing for 3 laps, and then so you lose 3 places in 1 corner. And well, I think it's 4 places actually, because I think Franco's going to get past as well. So bad news there for Schmitz. Ooh, 3 wide, careful guys, there's contact, and it's Yamantis who ends up worse. Schmitz also losing a lot of time. Valentini managed to go around the outside of all of it. Yamantis down to 12, seems to have escaped much damage there.
Yeah, you can see that coming 3 wide into that corner. It's tight with 2, never mind with 3. And unfortunately, Yamantis came off worse there. But luckily, he didn't damage his car, so he can still continue and try and make the places back up. So Dan Parmalee, as we see, is still leading the AM category. Yamantis behind him, and Doherty, the two Irish contingents behind him in 2nd and 3rd in the AMs at the moment. But Parmalee's still doing enough to keep his nose clear and maybe take the 2nd win for race 3 for the AMs.
Yeah, that would be yeah, quite a turn of events. It's his advantage quite a bit. 4 seconds Parmalee's got over his next rival. So great work. As he comes, this is Sen moving past Schmitz. I think Schmitz got any damage from that incident earlier. Retaliating well. These guys now 8.5 seconds off the lead. Schmitz, who 1 lap ago was fighting for 4th position, of course, with Simonek, who is absolutely well up the road now. Sen, Chile, Palmley all very close, and of course Palmley wants to overtake these guys. The points are given out for your overall position or your class position. So if you can pass some of the pro drivers as an amateur, then it's going to be more points for you. Just 1 point difference, I believe, in each position around this area of the track. It's absolutely essential for these drivers to finish as many races as they can across the season. They do have a faster pair, so they should be able to finish any race. Just as long as you finish on the lead, that 1 lap down or 2 laps down, you do get points. As Schmitz has got the better line really there, because Sen was way too tight into turn 1, heading on to lap 4 of the race. And so yeah, still he stays ahead, but there's absolutely no relief with these long straights at Road America. Meanwhile, Samson, who had a bit of an off earlier on at turn 2, he's a little bit wide again here, but he has just got past Doherty, I believe, who yeah, Doherty's a little bit slow at the moment. He usually has the edge on Samson, but dropping behind him on that occasion.
Yep, so you got the British in between the Irish sandwich there. I'm sure that won't stay there for long, but we'll see on that one. So you could probably throw a blanket over the first 4 on the race. In fact, they've all bunched up really well now in the front. So really tight, and Pinocchio doing his usual, coming either around the outside or around the inside. So great to watch him take the lines. I think it's an all or nothing driver, I think, for Pinocchio. He puts everything into it, and yeah, he's nice to watch. Sometimes a bit hot in the throat or tongue in the throat and that, and yeah, but it's great to watch him go around the track.
Yeah, very exciting driver is the Italian. Thanks, by the way, to Otto Hayatala. It's not a Finnish name. I feel like that might be a Finnish name, or maybe a Scandinavian. No, I think it is a Finnish name. I mean, I'm not quite sure, but thanks to everyone for subscribing to Apex Racing TV if you have done, and of course do like this video because then you're more likely to get recommended next week's broadcast. So do that. We've also got like 15 to 20 other broadcasts going on every single week on Apex Racing TV. So much action, kind of European and also American time zones. A mixture of formats. We've got the sprint races, reverse grids. We've got longer, kind of hour-long races. We've got even some oval races as well in a mix of cars, prototype single-seaters, touring cars, these Mazda Cups, of course. So much stuff on Apex Racing TV. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, see anything that you want to watch. It was a really bad lap there for me, so we picked it up just as he dropped down into 4th position. I think was running in 2nd for a very long time. But of course, he's down to 7th now, because you can see a 42 on that last lap. Absolutely dreadful for him, about 6 seconds off the pace. Sen, finally, well, no, that's just him losing the place again to Schmitz. But yeah, not far behind Moons now, only 7/10 behind, so it could get even worse here for one of Moons, who would have had such high hopes from pole position. But the race has gone very badly for him, and of course you can see the damage he's got. As we see out in the lead, Demon, Simonek and McQuell. Once again, McQuell taking that customary 3rd position that he's come accustomed to this season. And it's all going on still behind. Now at the head of this train is Valentini at the head of it. Apologies, yeah, Schmitz, and then yeah, Moons dropping to 12th place now with the damage. I think realising Moons that he's got damage, he's not going to be able to fight these guys, and so kind of doing the generous thing of dropping to the back.
Yeah, he seems like he's got a lot of damage dropping off the back of this group already, so certainly got some damage to that car that's affecting the speed of it. You can see it's pretty much crumpled at the front. So yeah, he's going to be losing a lot of speed, and it'll be coming in between 13th and 14th, which is Mullen and Sanson. They may even catch him up. Two laps left after this lap to go in this race. So yeah, so great battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. All throwing a blanket on them, all bumper to bumper coming down into Canada corner through And we'll see if there's any moves coming down into Canada corner. But Germantus right on the tail of Tulo. Is he going to pull out or is he not? No, I think he's going to stick him behind him for the start-finish straight, which would be the sensible thing to do to try and do this. But these drivers, who knows? Pete Newman at the front still. Symantec second, Manquel third, and Pinocchio fourth. So Pinocchio trying to make a move on Manquel. Got up nicely on the inside of him. Should take him for the first corner into the penultimate lap.
Final lap. White flags being waved.
Oh yes.
And so yeah, this will be the last one. Quickest race of the evening, actually. This one. We were still half a minute short of making another lap, but the pace with this cooler circuit, really absolutely electric, and of course so many quick guys near the front from the start of the 15 minutes. But Pinocchio's put himself into a pretty good position, mighty through the first couple of corners as well. Could well win his second race of the evening. Will it be Simonek getting his second race win of the evening, or will it be Newman with his first race win of the season, of course in his first round of the championship? Newman's going to have to go defensive here. Pinocchio's going up the inside, and of course Pinocchio and Newman came together in race one. Are they going to come together again here? Newman has to leave Pinocchio a lot of space. I think he was given a bit of a tap by Simonek heading into turn one, and the Italian was able to take advantage of that. Still, Newman's not giving up. He's got time later on in the lap to get past. There's no room being given by the pair of them, and it's Pinocchio from fourth to first in about a third of a lap.
Yeah, that's a brave or a little bit of grass there from Simonek as well. He's trying to take. He's got Newman as well. So has Newman had some sort of issue, or has just taken a line out? 4 lines going into the carousel. But Pinocchio, you know, what a great move that was. It was brave again with Newman. I was just hoping that Newman didn't get hit on that corner again, but yeah, it took that line. He seems to have mastered that corner. He is a master of overtaking on that corner, but like you said, went from third to first. Probably not in the ideal position now, because he's in the front, and we saw from Germantus when he was in the front of a big long train coming up to the drag for the final line. It didn't really pay off for him. But we can see there Simonek going past him and Newman. So it's free corner. Whoa, big wide. And who's that? Franco out into the wall. Took it a bit wide, trying to go 4 wide into Canada corner. Wow. So that's really going to hurt Franco. I don't think he's going to be able to recover from that. But at the front of the race, we got Simonek. Pinocchio in second. He's probably in the best place he could be now. The drag up to the last line. So he just needs to keep it nice and tight, which he's right on his bumper. He's got a great exit out of the last corner. So it's a drag race up to the line now. Is Pinocchio going to pull out? What's the mount going to do? Oh, he's pulled out. It's going to be a final finish on the line. Who's going to get it?
Pinocchio by 100 of a second managed to get just enough to the line, and what a great race. It's going to be close as well between these guys. Sen is going to beat Schmitz. I think will Germantus be able to get past as well? No, Germantus just dropped back by 3/100ths in the end, so Sen finishing top of that pack. But Newman, I think Newman nearly got ahead. Could we see a replay of the Canada corner incident? Because of course it was Franco who came out of nowhere and nearly wiped out the top 3, but it was 3 wide heading into Canada corner, and somehow they all got through it. But it was really Newman who lost out, despite the fact that I thought he had the best run on the outside. So let's see the footage then. So on the inside was Pinocchio. It was Simonek who managed to finish, who managed to get out on top of this. Newman suddenly got a tap, I think. Oh, and then there was the contact there, which just forced him wide, killed his exit, and couldn't really recover. Just that loss of momentum because in these cars, and you're that flat out for the next 20 seconds or so. So that was what cost Newman and what promoted McQuell up into 3rd place. And now, of course, Pinocchio just nailing that run to the line past Simonek right at the close. Top of the Amsterdam, by the way, was Dan Parmalee. Once again, he was only 1 place ahead of Damien McMullen in the end, but good work there from Parmalee. 2 amateur wins across the evening, and 2 overall wins for Ivan Pinocchio. Went from 6th to 1st in that race 3 to take the honours by 100th of a second ahead of Simonek. Super close there between the 2 drivers. McQuell was in third. There was Newman, Valentini, Sen, Schmitz, Yomantis, Churley, Parmalee top of the amateurs. There was McMullen, Doherty, Samson, Proctor, Moons, Clist, Walsh, Hides, and Franco, who was one lap down, but will still score points. So everyone scores points out of those drivers. Yeah, what a terrific evening of racing. We are going to hopefully have some interviews with drivers, and in fact we are going to be able to. However, before that, just a quick message about Virtual Racing School, who was another sponsor of this series. Virtual Racing School with over 50 data packs for both road and oval racing. They provide setups, track guides, data analysis software, and one-on-one coaching as well. So head over to Virtual Racing School. I believe they do data packs for this Mazda MX-5 as well. So it's a really good service to improve your performance in this car. So big thanks to them as well for helping us out on Apex Racing TV and for Apex Racing League as well. So we will first have a chat, I think, with Dan Parmalee, who joins us in the commentary box now, because Dan had a superb evening of racing tonight with 2 race wins. Dan, you must be absolutely delighted with that.
Yeah, it was a great result, you know, for only prepping an hour last night leading up to this race. Very pleased with the result. Managed to stay out of some of the trouble my other AM class competitors found. So, yeah, it was real good.
Yeah, and that's that race 2 in particular is really where, you know, the good results started to come in. How was the start from your perspective in that race 2? Because a lot seemed to be happening around you.
Yeah, trying to think back, it looked like someone up ahead had gotten some sort of damage and was stacking everyone up, and I think I just got lucky, right place, right time, was able to get by them, and it pushed some of the other cars back behind me, and that track position is just so critical no matter what track you're at. So, yeah, I think that was just a little bit of luck.
And then race 3, because you started up in 8th place, but it seemed like you just had a good battle throughout with some of the pro drivers. You ended up at the bottom of that kind of pack that you were racing in, but I mean, just looking at the results, it was 5 of you separated by less than a second on the line.
Yeah, they definitely had a little more than me in most of the racetrack. I could keep up with them, and since they were fighting, it would kind of draw me back in, especially in the straightaways. I could draft up to them, but they were just able to get the braking and get the exit. So I just kind of enjoyed the show, and you know, if something happened, I was leaving enough space I could hopefully get around it and maybe pick up another few positions if one of them had some bad luck.
My memory might be faulting me right now, but we've got Summit Points next for the next round of the championship. Am I right in saying that you've driven round Summit Point in an MX-5 in real life in the past?
Yeah, over several years. I was just there back in April, and was thinking of maybe going back this month, but didn't work out with other things going on. But hopefully make at least one more visit there this year, and maybe even VIR if the cards come out right. But yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks to drive in real life.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I think you had a good round there last season, so best of luck for this season as well. Dan, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
We'll give a shout out to the wife. She's always great letting me go do this, and give a shout to my parents too. And shout out to you guys. You guys put on such a great show. So thanks for doing it, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Dan. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Dan Parmalee there, your 10th place finisher in race 3, but also 14th and 8th in race 1 and race 2, and first place in both race 2 and race 3 in the amateur categories, so congrats to him. Andy, who are we going to have a chat with next?
Let's go with Damien. We'll get Damien in. Hi Damien, welcome to the commentary box. Can you hear us?
How's it going? That property loud and clear.
Excellent, excellent. So a bit of a mixed round for you guys. First round wasn't too bad. Second round you were fighting again with your cohort, Darren Doherty, and in the third race you came third. So how was it for you?
I really enjoyed it. Like race 1, I was really enjoying race with Darren. Like the pace he had, there was just no catching him, and we were dicing back and forward. And then in race 2, it was just a bit of a collision with me, Darren, and Colin, and it was just rest of history in race 2. But we get over that, and then race 3, I just said I'm just going to see what I can do, and I got the position I was looking for. So I was delighted.
Yeah, so up 7 places in that last race. But
Yep.
one thing I am certainly noticing, it seems to be you and Darren are joined together by either a piece of string or an umbilical cord. You seem to be right next to each other all the time on the track whenever we look on the stream.
Oh yeah, no, that's what we were doing, and we were talking to each other on the channel as well, and it was really good. And we were giving each other space, so we were clean. I hope.
Yeah, no, it was certainly great to watch. So we've got we've had 2 tracks now where it's been very much vast open spaces, lots of long straights, and we're now going into tight twisting tracks of Summit Point. How are you feeling for that round?
Can't wait. Really enjoyed that track, and it's one of the rookie tracks when you start iRacing, so it just brings back good memories when I started my license day 1.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for joining us in the commentary. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I just wanted to say thanks to all of you in Apex for running an unbelievable championship again, and to all my sponsors, my family, and to all my team in Potato Nation. I just want to say hello and thank you for all the help over the last week.
Well, thanks for joining us, Darren and Damien. Sorry, and
Yeah, grand, don't worry.
I can never tell you to if I'm on track. So there you go. Hope you enjoy Summit Point, and look forward to seeing you next week, mate.
Perfect. See you next week, lads. Thanks very much.
Brilliant. So there was Damien McMullen, who came second in the AMS in race 3. So, and championship leader. It may have changed with the points. I'm not sure if you're just on the points, Sam, to see where I am, but I know he was out front by quite a lot on the AMS, so he might have still kept it.
Thanks for calling out my laziness, because no, I haven't done the points. I actually forgot. No, I think he'll still be at the top though, won't he? Because I think Dan had a bit of a rubbish Watkins Glen round, and Darren was behind. I mean, yeah, it was incredible how close they were. So of course, 11th and 12th in race 1, 17th and 18th in race 2, and then 11th and 12th in race 3. There's nothing to split them. And in terms of time difference, in race 1 it was 2/10, race 2 it was 1/10, in race 3 it was it was 1 second. A huge gap in race 3. So absolutely incredible. Should be a good amateur championship fight between those two. Of course, as we've alluded to already, next round of the championship is Summit Point, and of course, like you said, Andy, I mean it's very different to the first 2 circuits that we've visited this season. But I think it's one of the best tracks for this MX-5. I think Okayama is awesome for this MX-5, but I think Summit Point is also up there because it's surprising, or we were surprised, me and Peter were surprised last season, how much overtaking you can actually do. That long straight is really long. It's narrow, but it's long. And so it's kind of got quite a good mix of, it's very possible to overtake, but it's far from, it's not easy, but it's very possible.
Yeah, no, it's certainly different for the guys' mindset to be in. So they've had the first 2 rounds of really long straights, and like being in the top gears. Summit Point has got really tight turns, really tight twisty track, and like you said, that big long straight. And if I remember rightly, I think I watched the stream, and wasn't that the one where you had a pass on the outside going down the start finish on the grass? Is that the race?
Yeah, that one was the grass by Roberto Ferrari.
That's the one, yeah.
Which was it's been on the iRacing Twitter feed. It was very good. He'd won the championship, but that one was really quite a memorable, I would say. So no, hopefully we have more action like that next week coming up.
Yeah.
Of course, another big thanks to all of our sponsors for this broadcast: Virtual Racing School, SDK Gaming, Apex Racing Academy. Massive thanks to all of them, and of course particularly Apex Racing Academy and SDK Game for providing prizes for the champions for this series. Super appreciate their support. Of course, if you've enjoyed this stream, do make sure you leave a like and also subscribe to Apex Racing TV, because we've got lots more action coming up. We've just had the iRacing Israel League. I think the season finale I think just happened. Maybe it might even be going on right now. So maybe after we've stopped talking, maybe go and check it out. Or if it's already happened, do watch it. It's usually a fun series. We've got slightly fewer broadcasts over the next few days because of week 13. iRacing might be down, so we can't host as many races. So no GT Trophy tomorrow, no Porsche Cup either, and no TC. I think we have got prototypes though on Friday. That will be very good. I believe that's from Watkins. No, it's not from Watkins. It's
yes,
from
it is.
It is from Watkins.
It is. Well, I'm racing in that.
Aha! Of course.
Watkins.
Is it the 6 hours this weekend?
I think it is. I think it is as well. So a good practice. I'm not holding my breath, but you know, I've got a chance of third place in that. But no, but I think the driver of the day for today race goes to Ivan Pinocchio. I thought he drove fantastically today. Winner race 2, winner race 3, and he was up there in race 1. So he certainly had the measure of this track. It's a pity he didn't come into the commentating booth to have a chat with him. But you know, overall an outstanding day for him, and I bet he's over the moon really with his results today.
Yeah, hopefully he can keep that up for the remaining 6 rounds of the championship. Certainly. Once again, like I said earlier on, you know, if you want to take part in this championship, do certainly sign up at apexracingleague.com. Go over to the product section, or if you want to go to the Mazda section just to read through the rules, see what the calendar is like. We're going to lots of kind of free circuits and also popular circuits to the end of the championship. We've still got 6 more races to go, and of course do check out all of our other series, ranging from prototypes, of course, like we were chatting before, and GTs, Porsche Cups, and all of that, all of those cars. So do check out apexracingleague.com for also the race reports as well, written by Peter Mackay, which will keep you up to date with everything that's going on in Apex Racing League action. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Andy Thompson, and from Sam Kume, we are going to say goodbye, and we will see you back in a week's time at Summit Point for round 3 of the championship. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.